Hello, and thank you for joining me today. I'm Mike Nylund, the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships and Solutions at Scholarship America. In this webinar, we will take a look at today's college student and the barriers they face and solutions that result in greater student success. Scholarship America is a nonprofit organization which helps students get to college, stay in college, and persist to graduation. Now, a little history about us. Scholarship America grew out of the efforts of an optometrist from Fall River, Massachusetts, who was moved by many of his young patients who said they couldn't afford to go to college. Dr. Fratkin's premise was that if every adult in Fall River donated at least $1, every student in the city would have the financial help necessary to attend college. And as a result of Dr. Fratkin's vision, since 1958, our organization has distributed over $3.9 billion and helped 2.4 million students navigate and find the solutions they need for academic success and beyond. Now, over the last 60 years, our mission really has remained the same. We are committed to a student-centric approach focused on outcomes and solutions that help students of all ages and all stages of their post-secondary journey achieve success. What has changed drastically, though, since Scholarship America began in 1958 is the student landscape. Gone are the days of defining solutions based on an outdated, simplified, or assumed profile of a student. And gone are the days of one-dimensional scholarship designs. Now, I'd like you to meet Charlene Hinton, who overcame significant barriers to go to college, earn a degree, and become the successful young professional she is today. Charlene is a summa cum laude graduate of Syracuse University. She's an employee of Ernst & Young, and I'm proud to say a trustee on the Scholarship America Board of Trustees. By every measure, a success. Yet, just a few short years ago, Charlene could hardly imagine her life today. When she was in high school, her parents divorced, leaving Charlene and her brother alone to battle their father's alcoholism. And school really became a safe haven.
4 years ago, I graduated as valedictorian of my high school class. But a few weeks later, me and my brother found ourselves homeless once again, with nothing to our names except a dream for a better life and the determination to finish our education. I knew Syracuse University would be my salvation, a place where I could thrive and reach for my dreams. However, the pressures of finances were constantly on my mind as soon as I arrived on campus. I wasn't supported by my family, and the part-time job I had was enough to sustain my daily living. I remember the first Thanksgiving. I stayed on campus, but the dining halls were closed at the time. I didn't have anything to eat except for half a burrito that I saved the night before for Chipotle.
Now, as you heard, Charlene faced a lot of barriers as a college student with barely enough money and no family support. Unfortunately, her story isn't unique. In fact, 24% of enrolled undergrads are low-income, first-generation students. These students are more than 4 times likely, that's 26% versus 7%, to leave higher education. And even more concerning is that 6 years later, nearly half, or 43%, of these students left college without earning a degree. Among those who left, nearly 2/3 did so just after the first year. Now, today's college students come from a wide range of backgrounds and bring an equally diverse set of needs. This graph from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation illustrates the range of characteristics that comprise today's college students. For example, nearly half, or about 40%, are aged 25 or older. They're returning to advance their career or to retrain for a new opportunity. And a few other examples to point out from this graph. Many students hold full-time jobs while enrolled in classes. 1/4 are parents, and many are first in their family to attend college. And for many students, getting into college isn't the only issue. It's finding the means to stay. In Charlene's case, many of the scholarships she had earned for her freshman year were not renewable, and summer presented an equal challenge. Not only did she need a job to help pay for the next year's tuition, she needed somewhere to live and some way to put food on her table. Charlene's challenges around homelessness and hunger are so similar to that of so many low-income first-generation students. In fact, research from the Wisconsin Hope Lab illustrates that when students have to focus on solving homelessness and hunger, they just don't have the capacity to focus on school. They are working to meet those basic needs versus working and focusing on academic achievements. And the deeper we look, the data reveals that a student's background and diverse needs are not the only constraints on student success. In fact, the National Center for Education Statistics identified 7 factors that put students at risk for dropping out without earning a degree. Things like delaying college, going to school part-time, working full-time while in school, not receiving financial help from their parents, having children of their own, being a single parent, or having a GED instead of a high school diploma are all risk factors. And the more risk factors a student has, the more likely it is the student won't earn their degree. Now, if you recall, Charlene also talked about her financial hurdles. The cost of attending college is significant. Average college costs have doubled in the past 20 years. State and federal help is certainly diminishing. Low-income, first-generation students pay nearly half of their median annual income just to go to school. And making things even more challenging, the Pell Grant barely covers 30% of costs as compared to covering 75% 40 years ago. And at more than $1.2 trillion, student debt is second only to mortgage debt today. Clearly, making smart financial decisions is an important element for success and ultimately living a life free of financial worry. I believe we have an accountability to students to deliver solutions that meet them where they are at. So let's hear from Charlene again, because Charlene's story is really an example of how student-focused solutions help. Despite all the factors working against her success, Charlene soon learned that she didn't have to face college and its financial minefield alone. She started searching for scholarships and found the Scholarship America Dream Award, an award granted to low-income students who have successfully completed their first year of college. She also worked hard to secure an internship with J.P. Morgan and became one of the youngest interns in the program's history.
I was a second-year student who needed funding to continue my education. I was relieved to know that there were such programs that existed, because too often students are not able to continue their education because of financial barriers once they're in college. It meant no more financial barriers so I could focus on school and enjoy the college and undergraduate life. It meant living every day without the mental stress of being homeless again. It meant having this ability to finally develop my potential. I cried. I cried in relief. I cried knowing that I could stay on campus. I could finish college. All the pressure and the stress vanished.
Now, remember earlier in the call, we reviewed a lot of student data, and you've seen that there are many students like Charlene all across the country who have great potential, but face major barriers. And because every student's story is so unique, so is Scholarship America's approach. We work to remove barriers and offer solutions based on a student's need. As a national nonprofit focused on student success, we have both the opportunity and responsibility to take those complexities and translate them into actionable, scalable solutions. With more than 60 years of building and innovating on reliable, accurate, and safe technology platforms, we are able to start with a strong foundation to build on as a leader who is defining and creating student-centered solutions. Our vision is a student-centric, outcomes-based, solutions-focused approach to helping students of all ages and all stages with their post-secondary journey, no matter whether the dream is a 2-year or 4-year or a certification from a technical institution. We consider the whole student experience and the capital they need to build. So let me show you how we incorporate all of that into our approach to scholarship design. First, as you all know, financial aid or financial capital is critical. This includes scholarships, emergency aid, federal and institutional aid. But as we define our scholarship design approach, financial capital is just one part of an integrated toolkit of student support necessary to carry out the work of helping all students persist and achieve higher education. And another critical piece of the scholarship design approach is cultural capital. Cultural capital has to do with things like assessing resources in college, learning how to manage money wisely, learning how to take notes, and selecting an academic program that will advance their career path. And finally, social capital rounds out the core to supporting the whole student. Social capital is about fitting in. It's building networks at schools and for future opportunities, and establishing connections for letters of recommendation, among many other things. So think of it like this. It's financial capital plus cultural capital plus social capital, all combined to help move students closer to success. We know that success comes at a higher rate when then there is an investment to address the diverse needs of all students. So now let me shift and look at how we translate that design into action that can make an impact through our integrated student success toolkit. But first, let's just recap. We all want students to succeed, right? That's why we're here, and that's why we give out scholarships. We've learned that a scholarship will have the biggest impact and highest success when paired with additional support for students. We need solutions that are actionable and scalable. And here's where our foundation and student-focused work comes in. When it comes to building a program, we have many tools in our scholarship toolkit, including services like emergency aid, mentoring, and financial literacy solutions. And we customize those based on the needs. So now, let's take a closer look at a couple examples of the student supports in our toolkit. For Charlene, a high school teacher and mentor made all the difference. This teacher and his wife took Charlene and her brother in when they were homeless, taught her how to write effectively, and edited multiple scholarship applications and essays for her, building her confidence to pursue her dreams. Adding mentoring or coaching services to a scholarship does the same for scholarship recipients. They provide both a safety net and support. Mentoring and coaching amplify the impact of scholarship support, helping more students persist and attain their degrees or diplomas. Scholarship America offers online resources, programs that train volunteers to become effective coaches, and curriculum that provides a structured outline for coaching or mentoring to make the mentoring services both scalable and affordable. We're here to partner with you to find a solution that works hard for you and your students. And while mentoring is key, what happens when, despite all their hard work and persistence, life gets in the way? Naturally, more than half of all students who drop out of school do so because of financial issues. And many times, this is because of unforeseen costs of a few $100s or less, an unexpected car repair or textbook costs, heating bills, or illness. For students who are living on the financial edge, a simple bill can be enough to derail their educational dreams. I can tell you, as a former financial aid director, I talk to these students often, and it was truly one of the most painful parts of my job. It was difficult because I had limited resources to solve those challenges. And that's where emergency aid comes in. Investing in students' completion by offering small emergency grants can make a huge difference. The difference between a student achieving their degree and all their potential or dropping out. One example of the impact of emergency aid is our Scholarship America's Dreamkeepers program. With our integrated student support toolkit, we have the solutions to meet your needs. As we talked about earlier, today's students look very different from students of 60, 30, or really even 10 years ago. Scholarship America continues to change as students change, thinking and operating differently to support the whole student, so every student can persist and succeed. As we build for the future, we look to external data, like the research we discussed earlier, to verify our approach to the student, to verify our scholarship design and our solutions. But I also want to highlight the history, integrity, and reliability we provide as a partner. In addition to our consultative and industry-informed approach as experts, plus our people who bring decades of experience and support with dedicated personal service and one-on-one support, we back all that up with solid technology that is continually being enhanced. It creates a promising formula for student-centered success. Now, indulge me a little bit as I dig into each one of these partnership dimensions. First, let's talk about expertise. In 2017 alone, we distributed over $224 million to over 96,000 students. And since our beginning days 60 years ago, Scholarship America has distributed $3.9 billion to over 2.4 million students in the United States and worldwide. We have over 1,300 partner programs and support some 13,000 scholarship programs. We provide best practices and consultation on improving the effectiveness of your program. Scholarship America provides superior one-on-one customer service through our dedicated program managers to partners and students, opening up scholarship opportunities and access to all. That means that if a student needs help, someone from Scholarship America is there to personally help them through the process and answer their questions. Same goes for each of our partners. We have nearly 500 community-based Dollars for Scholars chapters with over 12,500 volunteers nationally. We are proud to be the nation's largest private education support organization. Over the past 2 years, Scholarship America has made a major investment in our technology with better tracking, reporting, and secure document and information sharing. No one else has stronger, safer, or more reliable technology. Our robust system handles thousands of scholarship programs serving hundreds of thousands of students each year. A core strength is our flexibility in design and customizing solutions for the needs of each of our scholarship programs, and it's all based on a foundation of best practices. We are continuing to invest in technology and innovative user interface while maintaining data integrity. Scholarship America is the perfect trifecta of innovative technology built on decades of experience supported with dedicated personal service. Together, these components build student-centric success. Whether you're looking for a solution to a specific challenge like evaluation or disbursements, or you're in need of a full program design and management package, or even consulting on best practices, Scholarship America can help. Remember, as we said earlier, we have helped 2.4 million students. That is 2.4 million stories we've been a part of. Stories like Charlene's.
Thanks to all the support I received throughout the years, I graduated as summa cum laude from Syracuse University in 2015. Immediately after, I started working at Ernst & Young in San Francisco. I found my own apartment and have called the Bay Area home for some time now. I've also been elected as a board member of Scholarship America. As the youngest member, it has been an incredibly humbling experience, one that allows me to inspire others and continue giving back to the community. I want to say that in all of my successes, I'm very, very grateful to have support from strangers and from organizations like Scholarship America because it is people like you who believe in students' education that ultimately change the direction of our lives. So thank you.
Remember, as scholarship providers, you are saying to students, I believe in you and I want you to succeed. In this webinar, we have looked at the challenges faced by students today and proposed an integrated approach that maximizes the impact of your scholarship program and helps more students succeed. Finally, if what I have talked about today sparks interest in discussing more, I invite you to continue the conversation. Please contact Scholarship America at scholarshipamerica.org or contact your Scholarship America representative directly. Thank you for all you do to help students.